Hi, welcome. This is Abhinav here, mindful living coach, and I really welcome you. Thanks for joining me in this session. In this session, basically, I just thought to bring out one concept that I've been reading in this book. I've been reading this book, work by Thich Nhat Hanh. There's this concept about mindful meetings, right? Mindful meetings. Can you imagine something like in a kind of stressed out workplaces that we have, something like having a mindful meeting, right? So the only thing is, what I feel is change is possible, right? Not maybe what Thai is the fond name of Thich Nhat Hanh. Maybe not 100% in the way that Thai has envisioned for the whole humanity in the workplaces, but at least we can bring like 1% or 2% or 5% or 10% change, right? And friends, what I feel is that the change starts with us. So maybe before doing this session on this book, it's like a 5 to 10 minute kind of session that I'll do today. I just thought that whether it's relevant, whether we should even think about mindful meetings, because I have been into kind of workplaces, and I know the stress and all the politics and all the dog fighting and everything that happens in meetings, right? But I thought maybe that maybe in one in on 1%, if we can change ourselves, so the change starts from me and the change starts from you, right? So, and it will be helpful for us if we are more mindful in our meetings, regardless of however others are. Our peace will actually percolate and will go to other people, right? So there are just some ideas that I'll share. It's a not a lengthy thing I want to make. Just what Thai says that uh, in mindful, basically, when we start the meeting, you know all the people who join the meeting, let us just spend like 2 3 minutes focusing on our breathing, coming back to our breathing, right? Don't just what happens in meetings is that first of all, people are cribbing that the boss has put the meeting, and we don't want to join because there is work that needs to be completed. So there is this whole cribbing thing going on. We all the employees, they are busy in like 5 different tasks, right? Or 10 different tasks. There are deadlines and pressures of the day. So so one thing is very very important is that uh, first, we all the people in the meeting need to come together, be centered, right? Because only and only if you're centered, then you know the value will come in the meeting. Otherwise, everyone's brain is like scattered. Where will the thoughts and ideas come, right? So here we are actually talking about enlightened workplaces, right, which imbibe these concepts. And why this is that Google and all, Apple and all big companies, they are imbibing mindfulness, right, in their workplaces, because they realize the value that if the employees are peaceful, if the employees are centered, then there is a lot more value that can come, right? If the employees are happy, then there is lot less attrition, right? So first thing, and this can be like a kind of a checklist before meetings start. There can be like 2 3 minutes. So how I do like my sessions, so I have my inner circle community, a mindful community I have. If you want to join this community, you want to know more about this, you can register for the free masterclass that is happening tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. ist. The link is there in the description. Or you can also book a one-to-one clarity call with me, right? And I would love to hear about from you, on your challenges and how I can help you. So in my community, what happens is that when I have a call, uh, hi, hello, hi, I think it's Palak. Hi, Palak, or maybe someone else also. Uh, so in my community, what happens is that I start with the kind of a 10 minutes meditation, right, to center ourselves, because otherwise if our brains are scattered, then we will not nobody will be able to concentrate, right? So that is very very important. So Thai says that before starting the meeting, we sit quietly and come back to ourselves. We listen to the sound of the bell. That helps us to come back to our breathing in the present moment, calming our body and mind, and letting go of our worries. So bell is something which they use in the monastery, and why not in the corporate also? They can have something like a small bell, which you just click, just have that bell, and there is a sound, and everyone comes back into peace. And who would not love to work in such kind of a workplace, right? At least I would definitely, right? I would like to know more if any workplaces like doing these practices, right? And why should we only restrict it to monasteries, right? It should not be part of the mainstream, work and even families, right? So what I do with my in my family, we have this concept of having lunch together. We try to have lunch together, and dinner is together, right? It really works a lot for the bonding aspect in the family. I need to also include these things maybe in my family time. Okay, then so first thing is to have some minutes of meditation, silent meditation, where we bring our focus on our breathing, and just center ourselves. Second is we read a text to remind us to use loving speech and deep listening, to honor, respect, and be open to the views of others. So we teams can have like a code of honor, right? These like code of honor are something which kind of align the communities together, align the teams together. Like every team can devise a code of honor, you know which kind of binds them, a common code of honor. So something like that can be done. So I like have a code of honor for my community, right? Similarly, when we bring that code of honor in a community in the meeting, then it kind of reinstills every time the meeting happens. This kind of a code of honor uh, you know comes in, right? And then we practice being open and listening. So what we need to do is that when we listen to someone in the meeting, someone sharing, we do not interrupt. We let them complete, right? We just listen first what he wants to say, and we do deep listening. Deep listening is what is to listen to what is being said, and also listen to what is not being said, right? Sorry. Hello, Raj Gani ji. Thank you for joining. It's quite late in the night. So thank you so much for joining. Uh, thank you, Palak. Thank you so much. Okay, so important thing is to uh, listen deeply. Listen deeply to what the other person is saying. Allow that person to complete. Listen to what is being said. Listen to what is not being said. Sometimes people can behave, you know, maybe rudely or something in the meetings. Now what we can do is that we can understand what we when we listen to that person deeply, we can actually understand whatever someone is going through a rough patch, someone has had a deadline, someone has been rebuked by someone else, and all these things can be playing in them, and then that's why they are see what I have realized. People are essentially good. We are all good human beings, but it is only that it's just that we think that you know chalta hai. It is just it happens. We can do whatever in meetings, because there is no set rules, there is no code of honor, right? So even if there is no code of honor, no problem, at least we can do our bit to listen to the other person deeply, and when we speak mindfully, right? So Thai says that we invite everyone to express their ideas, and we come to a consensus after we have heard everyone, right? So teams can have a code of honor that we will first take everyone's views, and then only we will finalize, and we will finalize by consensus, right? And this what does is that it helps really the junior members of the team get that confidence that their voice is getting heard. Otherwise what happens, I've been in teams where I felt so down, being a junior member of the team. My kind of my views have absolutely no value. Still I'm being asked to join in the meeting, right? So somewhere if we can hear out everyone's opinion, and then we can all take a final consensus decision. It's something like that we can do. Then Thai says that we never interrupt. While one person is speaking, all the others practice deep listening, trying to understand what the other person wants to say, and we practice listening without judging or reacting, right? And observing what are the judgments or reactions that are coming in me, right? Very, very important practice. When other person is speaking something that you do not agree with, you can just recognize that there is so much, there is this wave of kind of reactivity or judgment. That so what we have to do is just be aware and recognize that this is coming up in me. As I become do more and more, I will not be reacting. I'll be more kind of responding. I'll get that space to respond, and my words or my comments or my inputs will have more power, right? A response has much more power than a blind reaction, right? So we will react, we will respond and not react. And what one more thing is that when we are discussing things in the meetings, okay, not all of us, if other people don't do, no problem. At least what you can do is that keep some attention in your breathing, on your breathing. Do not give full attention outside, right? Do not get lost, right? Keep some attention. So when you do this, what happens is that higher intelligence is in there. A higher creative intelligence works through you, and whatever solutions or ideas will come through you will hold much more force, will hold much more potency as compared to the thoughts that come from the mind energy, right? I hope maybe some of you are getting what I'm trying to say. Is if you discuss things only from your mind's energy, the 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 value of your, the contribution is less, as compared to you keep some attention on your breathing, maybe the movement of your belly, and then think through. Automatically you will, kind of, think it well, and then you will respond, and that will have much better force, right? So if you want to be a more productive and more impactful employee, practice mindfulness in your meetings, right? Rather than even if people do it or not, you practice, right? We practice listening without judgment. We don't get caught up in verbal duels, right? We speak from our own experience, right? We don't speak from other person's experience. We speak directly from our experience and address the whole group. And if we have questions, we place the questions at the center of the circle for the whole group to contemplate and address. So in this book, actually, there is a specific, actually, a passage that is also given, that before starting the meeting, there is this passage that will be spoken on how we will be conducting the meeting. So you can read this book. uh, then it is said that when we have times when we sit together, but okay, this is one more good idea. What Thai is saying is that when we sit together in meeting, there are times what we can do is that we don't bring work, right? Right. So it's always about work, work meetings are always about work. But once one meeting, maybe it's like a Friday afternoon, decide on that one time, like 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3 p.m, after lunch, everyone is relaxed, and that is one meeting that is called a happiness meeting. And that is not a work meeting. Nothing related to work will be discussed. It's all, kind of chit chat about how the week was, and no blaming, nothing. Just kind of a friendly chit chat about of things, right? So this will increase the bonding between the team, right? We can have a weekly meeting called the happiness meeting, which might last about an hour, but we don't speak about work. We just remind each other that we have more than enough conditions to be present, and we are just there for each other. That is basically to help one another understand that we all are here more than just work. If something goes wrong with your in your family life or personal life, we are there to support you. Now, so that kind of a bonding we need to bring. Now you can do this meeting in your office, or you can do this Friday meeting maybe in a setting which is outside office. So that will even bring much more kind of bonding between the team, because the it's office setting is sometimes kind of, it's still in that we are in that office mood, right? Or even if you cannot do it kind of a weekly, do kind of a monthly kind of a, we can go out on lunch. Or I will suggest not for a lunch, because lunch, what happens is, in eating we lose track. So maybe after lunch, or like after post lunch, we can have something like that of a meeting, right? Just reminding each other that we have more than enough conditions, right? We might drink a cup of tea or coffee, whichever is your chosen beverage, and nourish each other with our presence in the practice of mindfulness. And we can share positive stories, right? We can share the stories of our wins, so as a team. So it's not necessarily that you're a customer facing team to share your wins. You might be like a, so I've worked for years in like fields like compliance and audit and risk management, which are like boring, like beyond a point. We don't have like wins, but we still have wins, like some new, something we discovered in something we came across in audit, or some client who appreciated us, or somewhere we we did something, not to brag our thing, but at least some positive stories. So that can lift the morale of the team, right? In whatever organization I have worked, at least I have not found these kind of things happening. There is this one offsite that happened, and that offsite also, the agenda was something which is like totally not very good. So these kind of some kind of mindful moments or some zen moments we can introduce in our meetings to make it a more productive and a happy workplace. Right. So this is just some thoughts that I thought. I was reading this book and I thought these thoughts I could bring, and I hope it helps in some way. And I'll be bringing more such thoughts and more such things. So if you have anything to share, do share in the comment section, and I will look forward to personally responding to you. Do join me in the tomorrow's masterclass that I have at 8 p.m. IST. The link is there in the description. How to heal the difficult mental emotional patterns and find peace and well-being in this present moment through mindful living. So I'll be sharing the three secrets. I'll be sharing certain tips on how we can create more mindful life, and also energize our mindset. Both things are important. So looking forward to see you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.